Alert on the big business of youth sports. With endless practices and tournaments taking over households, the average American family spends thousands of dollars a year on kid athletes, according to a survey in Time magazine. But is the love of the game worth the hefty price tag? ESPN's Jessica Mendoza in California for us with more. Good morning, Jess.
Good morning, Robin. You think about you and I, right? We played multiple sports growing up, and kids are now being asked to specialize in one sport at a super young age in the hopes for that athletic scholarship or being able to play professionally.
The competition is cutthroat. The world of kids' sports is now a booming billion-dollar business where young kids are looking more like the pros. 14-year-old Ryan Brown turns heads and hits big when he's at bat. He's been playing baseball since he was 4 years old.
I play 4 hours, 5 days a week. If it weren't for baseball, I don't know what I would be doing.
9-year-old Melanie Barcinas has been playing soccer since she was 5. She's on 3 different teams and practices every day for 3 hours. Her dream is to play for the women's national team. Ryan plays at school and on a weekend travel team, costing his parents thousands of dollars.
Oftentimes, in many years, over $10,000 a year. Your tournament fees, your uniforms, it's everywhere you turn, it's more money.
But this kind of financial commitment isn't uncommon for young elite athletes. For 9-year-old King Riley Owens, who dreams of the NBA, basketball game travel is so expensive that his parents have set up a GoFundMe account. The youth sports business is now a $15 billion market, including travel to games, tournaments, private coaching, camps, even apps. But for some families, by the time college comes, there's not much money left.
It would be really nice if he would get a college scholarship to play baseball.
But only 1% of high school graduates receive an athletic scholarship, and recent studies show that athletes who specialize in one sport are prone to injuries. Remember Ryan? This summer, an injury has hindered his ability to throw the ball, but he can still hit.
He's torn the major stabilizing ligament in the elbow.
For elite athletes, the pressure to perform can be overwhelming. But for Ryan, despite his injury, he's undeterred and unstoppable.
I love baseball so much, and I really wouldn't trade it for anything in the world.
Guys, it's not so much that kids are playing sports at a young age. It's they're asked to being specialized in one sport. We're talking 5, 6, 7 years old, and they're picking one sport when they should be climbing trees, playing tag, having fun, not thinking about the pros.
Yeah, there are so many benefits. There are so many benefits, especially involved in team sports. And I know not everybody's going to be a 2-time Olympian like you, and kudos for you for that, Jessica. But are we kind of losing sight of the purpose of team sports when it comes to kids?
Robin, if I had to pick one sport when I was these kids' age, I would have picked the wrong sport. I would have picked basketball. And for me, I was an Olympian in softball. I was the tallest kid when I was young. And it's not even just the injuries and the financial strain. It's that emotional, psychological. If you're going all in at a young age, the burnout comes so quick. And for me, I played all sports. I know you did too. And my biggest thing is play as many sports, be that athletic kid, instead of just focusing in on one.
That's true. Bowling champ when I was 12 years old, state bowling champ in Mississippi, 12 years old. It was fun. Hey, Jessica, thanks so much.
.15 now, and new this morning, student athletes are making sure they score that touchdown, but only if they're playing that one sport. They should start signing up for more. 9 on your side's Palacero tells us why.
On a football field.
6:15 now, and new this morning, student athletes are making sure they score that touchdown, but only if they're playing that one sport. They should start signing up for more. 9 on your side's Palacero tells us why.
On a football field. You push yourself to be the very best you can be. That's until you get injured.
I just saw my football career flash before my eyes.
Mitchell Cox, who's only played football his whole life, has had knee surgery twice.
It definitely has been difficult because I see my teammates out there doing sprints and everything, and It just kills me that I can't do it.
Committing to only one sport at an early age is a big red flag for sports medicine physicians.
Study after study after study has shown it is much better for you to play multiple sports at a young age to get that overall muscle balance than if you specialize in one sport.
Especially for kids below the age of 16.
Their muscles, their bones, their joints aren't mature, so they get a lot of growth plate related disorders. Tommy John surgery at a young age has just taken off in the last 5 to 10 years.
A study by the American Journal of Sports Medicine warning
student athletes who focus on one sport over another and train for more than 8 months for it were at about a 50% greater risk of getting injured.
I was supposed to be pain-free, and that never happened.
The age your child is, that's how many hours of the week they should be practicing a sport.
and only let them specialize after they've hit puberty. Paolo Suro, 9 on your side.
I'm Garland Allen from Encourage. Bumps in the road. Let's talk about some of the things that can undermine your best efforts to have reasonable expectations for your child's sports experience. Your biggest challenge will be trying to sort out what is myth and what is fact. Here is some information that we believe can help you accomplish that. A common myth is that kids must play on travel teams to play in high school. The reality is no. Many programs actually narrow the learning experience of kids, undermine overall development, and frequently cause burnout. Another myth is specialization at a young age will increase the likelihood of long-term, high-level success. Warning, the reality is that with some very rare exceptions, early specialization is not the way to go. It more often leads to injuries, burnout, and dropping out. Another common myth is most world-class and professional athletes specialize in one sport at an early age. The reality is that this is not so. 7 out of 10 Olympic athletes and 30 out of 32 NFL first-round picks in 2017 were multi-sport athletes in high school. It's a myth that private instruction is necessary to be successful at the high school level. The reality is this is not necessarily so. Private instruction is not necessary, nor a guarantee of success. The quality of instruction is what matters. Here's a myth. If you work hard, getting an athletic scholarship is a reasonable goal for most high school athletes. The odds are not in your favor. The reality is fewer than 3% of high school athletes get an athletic scholarship to a Division I school. Signing a professional contract is a realistic goal for many athletes. This is a myth. The reality is that this is an even longer shot. Fewer than 0.5% of high school athletes will get an opportunity to play professional sports. It's a myth that athletic scholarships cover the cost of attending college. Realistically, the average athletic scholarship is less than $10,000 per year. Finally, the more games you play, the more you improve. The reality is, skill improvement for young developing athletes occurs mostly during practice, not during games.